Is Bitcoin about to break out again? What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Thursday. We're going to take a look at some targets, some key areas to watch for in both Litecoin and Bitcoin. And stick around to the end of the video. We're going to take a look at that Bitcoin daily chart versus gold weekly chart. It's getting pretty interesting, guys. Also, I want to give you guys a reminder. I do have a link to Ledger to get you a Ledger Nano S or whichever you'd like. With all the stuff going on with Binance, guys, keep your crypto safe. Get it off the exchanges. So yeah, check that out in the description below. There's also an ABRA link in there that if you deposit $100, they give you $25 worth of free Bitcoin. There's another one for Coinbase that if you make a deposit, they give you $10 worth of Bitcoin. So check that stuff out, guys. It helps support the channel. And with that being said, let's get in the video.
1, 2, 3, jump!
Alright guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any investing or any trading in this market, I suggest to do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind that it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you haven't already or you're new here, hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. That way you don't miss out on anything. I do post a video every day. Also, tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes, guys. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think of the video. That also gets you entered to win the free t-shirt. We have the drawing on Sunday, so definitely don't forget to leave your comment for that. And let's get into the video. Looking at Litecoin on the daily, we've been looking at this as a cup and a handle here, with the handle forming here. And if we do break the $100 range again, my next target is 179, which is the measured move off this cup from the breakout to 179. So let's take a look at the RSI now on the daily. And we've been watching this rising channel here where it was resistance up here, support down here, and then we broke through kind of a bull trap or a bear trap and then broke back in. So I am bullish here, guys, and I will show you my targets. Whoops. Let me go into the 4-hour and look at that 4-hour RSI first. And looking at the 4-hour RSI, if you guys have been watching, you knew we had this falling wedge drawn in here, which we broke out of, which got a breakout. And now we're forming a descending channel here, and I do believe that we're most likely going to break up and out of this. So let's take a look at the price action. If you guys are new here and don't know, I do believe the bottom's in for both Litecoin and Bitcoin. So, and I'll show you why towards the end of the video. It's pretty interesting on that Bitcoin versus gold chart, so stick around for that. Anyways, looking at this rising channel that we broke out of here, came back down, tested for support, broke through, and then broke through the bottom of the channel. Now we'll look at the bearish scenarios first, guys. I am bullish. I don't believe the bearish scenario is going to happen, but we do have to take a look at it because we should be prepared. And for anybody doing any trading, guys, I know people say, you know, I don't know. There's people out there that say, you know, you should trade. They teach you how to trade or whatever. Everybody's got different risk tolerance. Everybody's got different trading techniques. You basically got to do your own research and check out. There's tons of free info out there, guys. Don't just pick one guy or one person. That's why I don't show my trades on the videos. I do on the Discord, so if you want, you can join our Discord. I got a free link down there, but everybody's trading, a risk tolerance and everything is different. You know, there's day traders, there's swing traders, whatever. There's tons of different techniques. So that's another reason why I say not to pay to learn from these guys. I believe you're basically, if you're paying someone to learn on, you know, these videos that they're selling courses or whatever, they're teaching you their style, if it even works. But you got to kind of develop your own towards how you want to trade. But I just wanted to get that out there. Anyways, sorry about that, and done with my little rant. Let's look at the targets here. All right, I have this target here around 59, which would be a measured move off of this channel that we've broken out of here. And that would also get us to the bottom of this falling channel I have here. Then there's another target I have, which is a measured move of this triangle, we were to break down, that also goes down to the 59 range, guys. And then this one here is the measured move off this rising channel that we've broken down out of again. So that's my target for Litecoin if we were to go down, but I don't believe that's what's happening, guys. I do believe we still have way more room to move up. So let's do a measured move off of this. If we took this as the here as the flagpole, and this being a bull flag, the measured move off of that would be right here, would get us up to that $90 range, guys. So that would be the top of this channel again. I do believe we're going to head up towards this as long as we can break through this area. But if we can't, definitely keep an eye on this, guys. If we break below, you know, we break back below, I'd say around $70 range, then we're probably headed to that 59 range. But my opinion, we're going up to the 90 to test the top of this channel eventually. And then the measured move off of breaking out of this, I hope you can follow along with this downward channel. The measured move off that is right here at the $97, $98 range. Then I have a higher target, which is measuring this as the flagpole and this as a big bull flag, and that would reach us up to the 116 area. So that's Litecoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and see what's going on. Same thing, looking at this as a big cup and a handle, and we've broken through the neckline, which was at about 56.50, and now my target for the breakout of that is 8,200, and that doesn't mean we're going to shoot straight up, guys. I'm actually looking at this trend line I have drawn here from these peaks, and that would bring us around to about August, somewhere in that area to hit the 8,200. So it doesn't mean we go straight up, but I do believe, you know, we're going to get there around the August, somewhere in there. Let's look into the RSI and see what's going on now on the daily. And look at the daily RSI. We are still in this channel. We broke down out of it, just like in Litecoin. There was like a little bear trap here and back in. And if we look here, I'm going to draw this in real quick. In the RSI, this could be a inverse head and shoulders forming here, you know, to bring us back up. Just so you guys know how I'm looking at that. But let's go into the 4-hour chart now. Sorry about that. All right, looking at the 4-hour RSI, we were in this. I know there's a lot of lines in there, but try to follow along if you can. We're looking at this long-term rising channel. Then I had this symmetrical wedge in here, which we've popped down out of. Came back down, tested the bottom of the channel for support, popped back in the triangle, popped up out of, and you know, obviously you can see what's going on. We tried to pop out here. Looks like we might be popping back in. But guys, I believe we're going to pop back up out of this and continue up. And we're going to look at the price action now. Take a look at the bearish scenario first. As always, I am bullish and I'm steering towards the bullish scenario. But we do have to pay attention to what's going on and be ready for anything, especially if you're trading, guys. So, all right, looking, I had yesterday, I thought we were going to come into this, or come back down into this area before the pop up, but it never happened. We just continued on up. So I do have this rising channel here. Well, actually, rising wedge. It's a rising broadening wedge, which we broke out of here, and obviously we've came back down in it now. But my measured move out of that breakout, you would measure from where it broke out in the wedge and put it up here, and that gets us around the $6,500 area. This other measure move I have here is from measuring this channel, the white lines, this one here, measuring the width of that and up, and that gets us to the 56 or the 65.50 range, somewhere in there. So we're looking at $6,500 range, guys. That is my target as of now. And I do have a higher move off that, a higher target, and that's measuring this as a flagpole, and this is a giant bull flag. And we would, that measure move off that would be 7,000, which if we're following this trend line that I showed you earlier, 7,000 is probably going to be towards the end of this month. The 65 or maybe even 6,600, I believe. If we're going to hit that, it's going to be within the next couple days, maybe week, maybe over the weekend here. But I do believe, you know, this target is definitely my next target. But keep in mind, like I said, we could break back down into this channel. And if we do, then we're looking at towards the bottom of the channel, which would be around the $5,100, $5,200 range. So keep that in mind, guys. But I do believe this is going to hold, and I do believe we have at least this push up to the 6,500. So let's look at the Bitcoin versus, this is the Bitcoin daily chart. This is the gold weekly chart. If you notice, the resemblance is astonishing. I mean, it's just amazing. And markets work with human emotion. Human emotions never change. Yes, the gold chart is in the weekly, so it's 20-some years, but times are a lot faster now. It's easier access to everybody for, you know, buying and selling Bitcoin and stuff than it was for gold 20-some years ago, because there wasn't the internet, social media, none of that stuff. So let's take a look at, I have the top, these from each peak, I drew a line to where we broke down at the 6,000, and we'll take a look at that in a second. I want to look at gold. Drew the same lines as the peaks. Once we broke above these, you know, it was just basically a moonshot up, guys. And in 2003, right here, the gold ETF was approved. And see what happened after the ETF was approved. And I know people say the ETF isn't going to affect Bitcoin or whatever. Well, I don't know. Look what it did to gold. Another thing I want to point out is the hyperwave theory and why I think it's bullshit. Sure looks like a hyperwave here. And if that was the case, it should have came back down to $50 or $25 or something, but it never happened. If we look at how it bottomed exactly how Bitcoin has, and it's just a nice rounded bottom, no big capitulation candle. This here all the way down was the capitulation. We came up, we had two touches on the bottom of this trend line, exact same as we're having in Bitcoin. Once we broke through here, we just continued on up. Each one of these lines gave us some resistance and then became support and moved up from there. Now let's look at, excuse me guys, Bitcoin, and look at the similarities there. And I do have, just by looking at these two charts, I'm not sure how accurate this would be, but the $46,000 range could be reached this year, in my opinion. It's possible, call me crazy, but it is definitely possible. But let's look at the bottom of Bitcoin. Same thing you see we had in gold. Two touches on the bottom trend line here. And zooming in, like I said, no need for the big capitulation candle because, you know, we had a nice rounded bottom. This was the capitulation, guys. And we look closer at what's going on with the those trend lines I drew from each peak to the breakdown here. We are looking at each time we touched, we got resistance and then tested it for support, resistance, tested it for support each time on the way up. Now we've broken through this line, and this matches this next trend here. Trend line matches that 6550 area to 6500, somewhere in there. And it's just interesting how all this coincides. And I believe once we break through this top line, we may come back down, test it for support. You know, which with breaking through that, it's going to be around the 6500. That's why I do believe 6500. We might have a little pullback and then continue on. Once we break through that, guys, break through this top line, come back down, test it for support. I believe it's a good possibility that we go parabolic from there. And looking at this, I mean, basically you could say we're going parabolic now. I mean, this has been a beautiful move for Bitcoin. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show you that. Now let's look at one more thing. I'm going to show you in the RSI if you haven't seen it. Pretty interesting. It's Bitcoin. We look at the weekly. And as you can see here, we had 2013 bull run. I drew this trend line, which we got resisted from twice and then broke through and it never came back. This 2017 bull run, drew this trend line, got resistance twice, and now we've broken through. Now, like I said, we could come up, come back down, get, you know, test. This line was a lot of support over here, which we broke through. So we may come back down and test this for support here eventually. But like I said, guys, I do believe the bottom's in. Look at the monthly. And as you can see in the monthly, I have these two arcs drawn here. This is the 2013 bull run, 2017. If you look in the bear market, I have each one of these arrows represents a new low on the RSI. We had 4 of them here before our, you know, starting our bull run and coming up. We had 4 of them here, and I believe the same. But I do believe this arc here is going to be a lot shorter than the other arc, especially with everything going on and all the good news in Bitcoin. And it, you know, it could be something more like that. So just wanted to get that out there. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, don't forget to click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes. Leave your comments, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.